Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue.
I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're going to talk all about cheese curiosities.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about everyday items made to look like cheese.
Really?
Like keyboards, candles, and soap.
Soap?
We're going to learn about jewelry and a scandal.
Ooh.
We're going to hear about a sad, overturned truckload of cheese.
Aw.
And of course, we're going to tell our very cheesy jokes.
We love jokes.
Stay tuned for episode 182, Cheese Curiosities, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. We seem to do bad at planning some of these episodes because this would have been a great one for Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day in the United States.
Yep.
And some of these items that we found online would have made some great gifts.
There's Father's Day.
That's true. And in all reality, all of these things that you can buy, you could do any time of the year. So this is a pretty good list.
Yeah.
We stumbled upon this first one
Yep.
on a website called hackaday.com. There is something super cool.
Yeah.
It is a keyboard, they say, for mice.
Ooh.
All the keys look just like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, they do.
This is a computer keyboard, and there's an image by Robert Loblaw, too, from Reddit.
Yeah.
Each of the keys is really cool, and it looks like a little piece of Swiss cheese.
Aw.
On the top, where you've got your escape key, you've got a little mouse, and there's a little grater.
Yeah.
This cool keyboard is 3D printed.
That's cool.
And there's even a free file that you can click on in this website.
Yeah.
And they say, should you require such a charcuterie keyboard for yourself?
Oh.
Don't need a computer keyboard, but you're looking for something that smells great?
Ooh.
Well, there are cheese-shaped candles.
Candles.
Yeah, that's right. We found a couple of different websites.
Okay.
On uebrooklyn.com, there are cheese-shaped candles for $15.
Whoa.
There's a round one, a triangular one, and one that's heart-shaped.
Neat.
There's another triangular-shaped one that comes in 3 different colors.
Whoa.
And it comes in a set of 2 for $15
Wow.
on AmberValleyCandleCo.com.
Whoa.
If you're a fan of Amazon,
Yeah.
there's also another one there.
Okay.
This one is for $12.99, and it's a triangular shape.
Nice.
This next item cracked me up.
Okay.
You ever have a pet that's sick and you have to put a cone on them?
Aw, yeah.
Well, there's one on zzlife.com
Okay.
called the Cheese Cat Cone.
Oh, no.
Oh, and it's exactly what you think, except for it's like a plushie.
Okay.
The cat in some of the pictures looks a little bit, how shall I say, irritated that it's got this cone on its neck. Like any animal hates that.
Right?
But you can get this within 3 to 7 days, and it's $22 on ZZ Life.
Nice.
Let's say you don't want to torment your pet. Well,
Yeah.
on crystalimages.inc, there is a personalized cheese wedge made of crystal.
Whoa.
This one's a little pricier. This is $169.99.
Holy cow.
It looks
Yeah.
basically like clear glass. It's in a cheese wedge shape,
Whoa.
and it can be personalized.
Ooh.
There is something called a facsimile cheese-shaped bowl,
Okay.
and it's on dolceterra.com, and it runs about $210.
Holy cow.
I've seen bowls shaped like this at the grocery store.
Yeah.
It looks like a giant wheel of Parmesan cheese.
Oh, yeah.
And it has little cheese wedges inside.
Aw.
But it would be sort of an interesting piece for your kitchen.
Yeah.
Dolce Terra is not a sponsor, but if
Nope.
they were, their ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do.
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay.
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY,
Cheesy.
that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay. Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. If you're into decorating with cheese-shaped items, this one's for you.
Yeah.
On Amazon.com, they've got cheese-shaped hand soaps.
Soap?
These are triangular, they're yellow, and thankfully, they say, it doesn't actually smell like cheese, but has a pleasant, creamy scent. They also claim to be made from natural fruit and tree oil.
Wow.
This next Amazon find is cracking me up. You can actually have pillowcases that look just like cheese.
Yeah.
There's also a Kraft macaroni and cheese plushie.
Whoa.
There's a little guy that looks like a wedge of cheese.
Nice.
There's some other stuff here. There's a toast bread pillow. It looks like a one for a chair in your kitchen.
What?
There's a girl at the top of this page that's hugging what looks like a baguette.
Whoa.
Apparently, there's a lot of different food-shaped pillows out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would decorate with neon, but I know a lot of people would.
Yeah.
And there are some really cool cheese-shaped neon signs.
So cool.
There's one that says cheese underneath.
Ooh.
There's one that has just a wedge of cheese.
Yeah.
And they're bright and they're yellow and they look pretty neat.
Yeah.
This next one would be so cool.
Yeah.
This one is on earthlygoods.com.
Whoa.
They have cheese-shaped seed paper.
Seed paper.
These would be something that you would likely buy to give out like a business card type of a thing.
Whoa.
You can have it personalized. You can have it on different colors.
Oh.
You can make it into things like bookmarks,
Whoa.
cards, gift packs, postcards, anything you want.
Yeah.
These papers have a wildflower mix.
Neat.
And they said they have a high guaranteed germination rate.
Wow.
You take this paper, you bury it in the ground, and it actually comes up as a flower.
Whoa.
There is a cheese-shaped crossbody purse.
Oh.
And it goes for only $20.
20.
At thespreadevents.com, you can get this purse.
Whoa.
You can get a hair clip. You can even get earrings shaped like wedges of cheese.
Oh, my.
And what goes better with a purse than jewelry?
Oh, yeah.
There are some classy Etsy pieces of jewelry shaped like cheese.
Classy.
The first one we found on Etsy is $129, and it's a minimalist cheese ring in yellow gold.
Ooh.
It's this tiny little wedge of cheese on a tiny band, and it actually looks nice.
It's pretty.
Etsy also has some cheese charms.
Yeah.
They've got Gouda cheese earrings.
Yep.
There are Cheez-It cracker earrings. I'm looking at some grilled cheese earrings.
Ooh.
I'm looking at charcuterie board earrings.
Whoa.
There's earrings, there's necklaces, there's cheese stick
Yeah.
earrings, there's hair barrettes.
Holy cow.
And there are a couple of manufacturers that have gotten into the jewelry game.
There are?
A little while back, we talked about this one. It's called GeorgeTheJeweler.com, and they've got the Velveeta lip cuff.
Okay.
That's right. There's a cuff that goes on your lip that looks like a drip
Oh,
of
yeah.
cheese, and it's made from gold.
Whoa.
14 karat gold.
Oh, my.
This one goes for about $70.
Whoa.
And we kind of got suckered into something this week. We
Yeah,
saw
we
an
did.
article last week, and it was about craft.
Yeah.
It was a necklace, they said, for mom.
Ooh.
And it wasn't a joke. It was 14 carats,
Whoa.
and the necklace had a mac and cheese noodle on it. And they
Whoa.
give a website for a noodle necklace drop.
Oh.
And you know what?
What?
I can't find anybody online that's actually gotten one.
Oh, no.
Ringconcierge.com had the mac and cheese forever macaroni necklace.
Whoa.
And they had a website that you could go to and a link and a text message you would get to talk about this cool looking necklace.
Oh, yeah.
Every day they would send out a text talking about a drop for a $25 necklace.
Whoa.
And every day when you got in there and clicked the button, it wouldn't let you buy it.
Nope.
Pretty deep in some of the comments, they said there was limited quantities, a limit of one per customer.
Oh.
I think they meant a limit of one customer per day.
Oh, no.
The internet is lambasting this company
Oh, yeah.
and asking people that have said online that they've gotten one to actually prove it.
Yeah.
Of course, as soon as this offering came online, there's eBay people that have $500 and $600 for this necklace.
Oh, no.
There's even some dupes that have come up on Etsy.
Of course.
There's all kinds of comments saying it's shady business practices and that they should have a class action lawsuit against them.
Whoa.
Some people have even called it a scam.
Oh, no.
If you were one of the lucky few people that actually got one of these necklaces,
Yeah?
please reach out and let us know so we can see what it looks like in real life.
Yes, please.
It's time for my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
Well, we hear about another cheese tragedy.
Oh, no.
WLWT out of Ohio reported on a truck that was carrying about 40,000 pounds of cheese.
Holy cow.
It overturned on April 10th.
Aw.
It took crews over 12 hours to right the overturned trailer
Whoa.
in order to get the truck back on its feet. It had to be offloaded on site, so they had to bring in several dumpsters to dispose of the product inside.
Aw.
Pictures from the accident were showing boxes kind of pouring out of the back of the truck.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, nobody was injured.
Phew.
But sadly, it sounds like all of the cheese had to be disposed.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, why did cheese break up with the fruit basket?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because it was too jam-packed with drama.
Oh, haha.
Get it, jam-packed?
It's dumb.
Oh yeah, they're getting dumber and dumber by the day.
Yeah.
But they're always a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode 182, Cheese Curiosities.
Thank you.
If you're looking for a list of today's items,
Yep.
we've got a website called www.justcheesy.com, and we would love it if you could check it out.
And stay cheesy, everybody.